answers to rewrite history is God's side and the other side.
Country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good. Okay, bitch, that look like Mr. Potato Head.
I didn't want to be a movie star.
No, you couldn't be a movie star. Ricky Smiley can't act. Cause Ricky Smiley can't act. Why is he in a dress again? He didn't be wanting to Barbie. And you gotta tell him no. Said ain't got no special, you remember. Eve ain't got no special, you remember. Ricky ain't got no special, you remember. Sir, I have 12 comedy specials. P. Diddy or whoever you is. TVJ, 20 of them. I won't stop burning you down until there ain't nothing left. Rubble on top of rubble and I'll still be bombing. Look like a wall, Richard. Look like a wall. You didn't say no. Look like a wall, Richard. Look like a wall. You didn't say no.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original QueenAShakur show. I'm your host, QueenAShakur, and this is your, not your morning wake-up call. This is your daily vitamins, okay? We're getting a late start today, okay? So let's get into it. Everyone, please be sure to hit that like button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr_A_Shakur and TikTok at TikTok at Dr. A. Shakur and Twitter at DGoddess27. All right. Hello. Lillian X is in the house. Auntie Leah, Sheila, Treese is here. Miss AP, Samantha, Leon, Dragon Lily, Edward. All right. All hell nah in the house. Miss Sheila. Okay. So let's get into it. Vince, I am all the way from the UK. Nessie X is here. All right. Nubian Cutie is in the house. All right. Everyone hit that like button. So let's get into it. I see you, we the people. Shout out to all of my loyal royals in the chat and everyone tuned into the Queen. I see you, Desmond. And shout out to my moderators for putting in work. Okay, so before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. All right, everybody hit the like button. Thank you.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Oil for your hair at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. And you can also find it at Walmart.com. And don't forget, for the men, she has a lovely beard oil, which I'm sure you'll enjoy. Okay, so let's get into it. And anyone who doesn't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do as per usual. Okay? So now let's talk about it, because first things first, let's get into this information. Hold on. Okay. With that all been said, I'm sorry. With that all been said, let's get into this information about Diddy. Okay, let's talk about Diddy, because D Woods came out with some allegations against him. All right, and D Woods, for those of you who don't remember, she is formerly a member of Danity Kane. So likes up, everyone, please like and share. Now, this is what she said. He was my hero. D Woods detailed shocking allegations against Diddy. So a former member of Danity Kane has come forward with claims about her troubling interactions with Sean Diddy Combs. Speaking on Good Morning America, she shared her experiences, shedding light on behavior that aligns with the ongoing allegations against the music mogul. Diddy, currently detained at the Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center, faces a slew of charges, okay, from trafficking, racketeering, and a conspiracy to transporting individuals for prostitution. Now, of course, he's pleaded not guilty thus far. So this moment now is a time where I feel like my experience, my truth really can be heard. Now, this is what D Wood says, and actually considered and believed. Reflecting on the allegations that she admitted that Diddy was once someone that she admired. He is looked at as a hero of our community, by myself included. I looked up to him. So a lot of people don't want to believe that their hero can be this other person, she said. Now, D. Woods' remarks came ahead of her appearance in the documentary The Fall of Diddy. The docuseries promises to delve into allegations of assault, abuse, and violence that have followed Diddy over decades. Now, a press release from Maxine Productions, the creators of the series, describes it as an investigation into the insidious and terrifying allegations behind Diddy's success. Diddy's legal team has pushed back against the documentary, calling it a one-sided and prejudicial narrative. His attorneys argue that the producers failed to provide adequate time or details for Diddy to address the allegations, many of which stem from anonymous sources. Okay, Diddy's going to be suing them next. And listen, for those of you who missed the video that I did yesterday, please make sure you go back and watch that, okay? Because I had the legal filings and all of that. And basically, you know, it looks like they don't have a strong case against Diddy, and it's being damaged even further by these people who are out here telling nefarious lies. Okay, I went over the case of Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell, who are being sued by Diddy for defamation. And his attorneys, Diddy's attorneys, made some very valid points as far as I'm concerned. Okay, now anyway, goes on to say the accusations against him are pure fiction. His representative said in a statement, expressing confidence in the judicial process to clear his name. Now, for D. Woods, however, this is an opportunity to bring accountability into the spotlight. And as she prepares to share her story in the documentary, her claims contribute to the growing scrutiny surrounding Diddy and his alleged actions. So anyway, let me tell you all something. A whole lot of people have indeed come out against Diddy, and a whole lot of people are saying a whole lot of things. But the question is, do the individuals saying these things, do they actually have any proof? Now, we already see that Cassie has been caught in one lie, because Cassie initially said that Diddy was video recording her having these sessions with these workers so that he could hold it over her head later. But then Cassie is the one who turned in 9 videotapes of those sessions to the feds. And as Diddy's attorneys argued, Diddy wasn't in possession of them, she was. So that debunks the story where she says he was holding it over her head. And I told you all days ago, I just wonder, why did she even keep that stuff for all these years stored on her own devices? Okay, I mean, that's crazy. Now, if she was thinking about suing him later, she could have given those things to an attorney, you know, that she would likely have represent her in the event that she did decide to sue him, or if there were criminal charges eventually pressed, as there are now. But for her to keep those things on her device, that's going to pose a lot of questions, and the defense is going to definitely zero in on that. You know, she's going to have to try to make that make sense. Okay, that's just the bottom line. Okay, so now let's talk about Jay-Z, because Jay-Z has a new partnership. And so it looks like even though he has these allegations against him, Jay-Z is still living his best life. Okay, because he has a new partnership with South Korean music platform, okay, which will allow fans to purchase song royalties. Please pay attention. So Jay-Z's Rock Nation is teamed up with the South Korean fintech platform, allowing fans the opportunity to earn money from the songs they stream. Now, Rock Nation's new partnership with South Korean fintech company Musical introduces what it's called the first music equity service provider in the United States. Okay, now the partnership gives consumers the opportunity to invest in music royalties, following Musical's model of allowing music rights owners to buy, trade, or sell shares of royalty revenue to potential investors. Now, it's a win-win for creators and music superfans, as music makers will be able to break down royalty revenue into fractions and sell shares of their tracks, while consumers can earn revenue for their favorite artists or from their favorite artists by investing in music royalties as an alternative asset class. What do you all think about this? Would this be something any of you would likely want to invest in? Now, they say the music industry is evolving into a shared ecosystem where fans and creators can earn together. Okay, this is what Rock Nation Vice Chairman Jay Brown says, saying that our mission is not only to support and empower artists by providing the tools and services they need to build a better music ecosystem, but also to give everyone access to the financial opportunities the music industry offers. Well, you know, this all sounds very interesting to me, seeing as how, you know, previously in the music industry, they didn't even want the artists to basically benefit from it. Now they want the consumers to be able to benefit from it. So once in the chat, if you all think this is something that you would likely invest in, once in the chat. Would anybody invest in this? I have several questions. Miss Sheila says South Korea, maybe his name isn't as tarnished like it is here. Okay, I see everybody. I see everybody putting twos. Okay, Eric put a 1. Okay, the Grift Eyes Hard here says, what took them so damn long? They could have done this a long time ago. Rock Nation is feeling the heat. Said they're feeling the heat. Now he's starting to do the right thing. Okay, all right, that could be the case. Measure Man says, LOL, pay attention, beloved. Publishing rights back. LOL, follow the image, especially with ironclad NDAs. Okay, you know, that's a very good point, beloved. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Okay, you know, this is very interesting to me because we already know how the music industry has gotten down in the past. Like I said, not even paying the artists what they are worth and not even wanting to give them any type of other benefits. Signing these 360 deals and all of this and then having it like decades away when they can finally have their publishing back and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I don't know if this is something I would invest in either. Okay, now they go on to say that they say that our mission is not only to support and empower artists, but providing the tools and services they need to build a better music ecosystem. Now, founded in 2016, Musical originally launched as a platform for investors to buy and sell stakes in K-pop song copyrights through public auctions or online marketplaces. Now, with its partnership with Rock Nation, U.S. music fans will have the chance to do the same. Now, when the new platform launches, expected in the first quarter of 2025, early users will get a head start with a free $10 in their Musical wallet, allowing them to begin earning royalties before the competition. Okay, now Musical CEO Woo Ree cites the Rock Nation partnership as an incredible opportunity to drive innovation and redefine the future of our industry, saying that they're confident that together we have the vision, expertise, and enthusiasm to create transformative progress and unlock limitless potential. Okay, you know, it sounds to me like Jay-Z's trying to get in good with the fans. Jay-Z might be trying to get in good with the fans, is all I'm saying. Sounds just like you said, Measure Man. It sounds very reminiscent of right before all of these allegations came out against Diddy. Right before all of that, because he knew it was coming. Because remember, he and his team had already been in negotiations with Cassie and her attorneys for like 6 months, okay, according to documents and reports. So that all being said, Diddy came out trying to get ahead of it, in my opinion, and offered former artists to give them back their publishing rights, but they had to sign NDAs. So that's what this sounds like to me. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what it sounds like, okay? DSB gifted 5 memberships to the channel. Thank you, beloved. Peace, love, and blessings. I appreciate you. Okay, so everyone be sure to shout out DSB for purchasing memberships for other people. Okay, so now let's talk about it. And you know, meanwhile, while all of this is going on, if you'll notice, Quincy Brown has distanced himself from it. You haven't really heard from Quincy. You've not seen him out and about with the other sons or anything like that very often. And in fact, Quincy is on a new show. He's actually on this show, The Family Business New Orleans. If any of you watch that, looks like it's going to be really good this season because I've seen 2 episodes already. Okay, but that's what Quincy's doing, honey. Quincy's staying busy. He's out here working. It doesn't seem like he's letting this stuff with Diddy stress him out. And also, Diddy's son, King Combs. Now, he was just videoed out at a club with some woman, some young lady just twerking on him. Okay, so it looks like they're not so much worried about Diddy. Like everybody's just doing what they have to do out here living their best life. All right, so it doesn't look like they're stressed is all I'm saying. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about Trump, because what is really going on here, Black people? I have several questions because it has come to my attention. It says Donald Trump's approval rating higher with Black people than white people. I'm sorry, say what? Are y'all hearing this? Are y'all hearing this? So they say we love Donald Trump better than they do? I don't know about all of that. What do y'all think? Do y'all believe any of this? Please pay attention. They're saying that the Black folk is out here loving on Donald Trump a whole lot more than they are. Okay, I'm sorry. Nene said, I don't believe it. I don't either. It all sounds suspicious, okay? It all sounds suspicious. Now, I know we have some black MAGA, but I don't think we have as much as the other MAGA. Okay, so listen to this, honey. Just in. It says more black voters approve of Donald Trump's job performance as president than white voters, according to a new poll from America's most accurate pollster. While black voters still very much align in favor of the Democrats, the 2024 election saw a sizable shift toward the Republicans among black Americans, with the Democrats winning about 80% of the black vote, down from 90% in 2020, according to the Associated Press. In total, Donald Trump won 20% of the black vote, compared to 13% in 2020 and 80% in 2016, the highest level of support by black voters for any Republican since George W. Bush in 2000. Trump also saw significant support from black voters in the swing states. One exit poll from Wisconsin published by NBC showed that Trump improved his vote, says he improved his vote share among black voters by 13% since 2020. And in North Carolina, they say he saw a 5-point increase. What do y'all have to say? Now it says, according to a new poll conducted by Altus Intel between January the 21st and 23rd, 69% of black voters approve of Trump's performance. Okay, his job performance, that is, compared to 50% of white voters. Meanwhile, they say 31% of black voters disapprove of Trump's job performance, compared to 49% of white voters. Now, overall, those polled were split over whether they approve or disapprove of Trump's job performance, with 50% saying they approve and 50% saying they disapprove. The poll surveyed 1,882 people, of which 9% were black, and had a margin of error of about -2%, -2%. So I'm going to show this little chart that they have on the screen, this graph, because they say correctly predicting Trump to achieve victory in the national popular vote, approval of President Donald Trump by race. Okay, so let me just share my screen so you all can see this, because I find it all interesting. I find it all very interesting. There you go. Look at that. Okay, y'all see that? So you can see that the black people is well over 60%, while the white folk look like they're almost at about 50. And then you have the Asian and the Hispanic and other. Everybody below the black people. Yeah, I don't believe it. I absolutely don't think I believe this. Samantha says no way. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No way black people love Donald Trump more than MAGA. Okay, I just don't believe it. Okay, this all sounds nefarious. Now, Trump's growing support among black voters could be explained by their views about immigration. According to the Atlas Intel poll, 72% of black voters see immigration as a key challenge for the U.S., ranking it higher than any other issue. White voters were also more likely to see immigration as a key challenge, with 52% choosing it as their main issue. Now, immigration was the cornerstone of Trump's campaign. He vowed to hold the largest mass deportation in history, and has said that he will use the National Guard to round up migrants and invoke the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Okay, the law that allows the president to deport any non-citizen from a country the U.S. is at war with. Okay, this is all very interesting, like I said. Now, on Monday, after he took the oath of office, Trump began rolling out his agenda, signing more than 100 executive orders. Among those were orders that declared a national emergency at the border and ended birthright citizenship for the children of illegal immigrants born in the U.S., cracked down on sanctuary cities and states that refused to cooperate with federal immigration agents, and ordered the Defense Department to provide troops and resources to support the activities of the Secretary of Homeland Security, okay, in obtaining complete operational control of the border. Now, he also instructed the military to help build border barriers to repel migrants. The Atlas Intel poll shows that Trump is enjoying broad support for his action on immigration, with 54% of respondents saying that they're strongly or mostly in favor of Trump's proposal for mass deportations. However, only 47% said they support Trump's executive order to ban birthright citizenship for the children of illegal immigrants, while 49% said they oppose it. Now, I want you all to pay attention. I want you all to pay attention because you see, this immigration thing is making a whole lot of headway, because you had days ago, immigrants were deporting themselves. They were leaving because they felt like it'd be best for them to just voluntarily leave than to have Trump's administration just oust them and deport them. And here's the thing. Now, you may ask yourself, why would they do that? Well, the reason being is because if they actually waited for Trump to have them deported, they could be separated from families. If they go snatch the children up from schools, snatch the parents up from work or whatever, they can just ship them off. Okay, they could just have them all separated. One family member could be over here in this state, another one in this state, or whatever. And that's what they fear. This is why they are self-deporting in some cases. Okay, but this all is just real crazy. Now, what do y'all think about it? Because also they say on Tuesday, the Trump administration ordered the removal of officials overseeing DEI initiatives across federal agencies. A memo from the Office of Personnel Management instructed agency heads to place all DEI staff on paid administrative leave by 5 p.m. Now, when this was on Wednesday, okay, they were told this on Tuesday, they had to put them on paid administrative leave by 5 p.m. Wednesday, and to plan staff reductions by January the 31st. Now, the memo also mandated the removal of any DEI materials and the withdrawal of pending documents that conflicted with the new orders. Additionally, agencies were told to ensure no ongoing DEI efforts remained in disguise. So I just want you all to pay attention. See, that further, right there, that whole DEI thing, that further makes me believe that this is not true, that Black people have a higher approval rating with Trump or that Trump has a higher approval rating with Black people than any other group of people, specifically white people. I don't believe that. And I don't know why, if that's the case, I don't know why that would make any sense, because do Black people not care that he's getting rid of DEI? Do they not care about that? Do they not care about the fact that he said he was going to make it to where you couldn't sue the police? Okay, and what about these people who were the January 6th protesters, the ones who caused that whole insurrection? Him supposedly, from reports, going to pardon them. Okay, so I don't believe this. This all sounds like a load of BS. Now, they say the move follows Trump's day one executive order to dismantle federal diversity programs and urges the private sector to align with federal policies, emphasizing compliance with civil rights laws. Now, what people are saying, they say Christopher Toller, an associate professor of political science at California State University in Sacramento, says that he's very skeptical in reliability and representatives of the black sample, saying that with only 180 Black respondents, it's hard to make confident conclusions about the results of race or by race, especially considering that some of the other results for the Black subsample are inconsistent with what I found in my own work and what other data sets show for Black public opinion. He also added that, for example, no other data shows Black approval for Trump above 50%, let alone at 68% as Atlas Intel results show. Higher than both whites and Latinos, he says. Yeah, I have questions. Furthermore, the Atlas Intel data found that Black respondents said the most important issue facing the country was immigration, whilst other research, including my own work with Black Voter Project, suggests immigration is not a top priority for Black Americans. And I don't see why it would be, because that was surprising to me and falls toward the bottom of the policy list when asked. He says, to me, this means that the small Black subsample in this data is inaccurate and unreliable, likely oversampling Black Republicans who are overly interested in taking a political survey after they feel they've won the election with Trump. Now, without collecting a larger representative Black sample that is strategically designed to accurately represent the political and socio-demographic profile of the Black community at large, this can easily happen. So, in summary, I don't believe that the Atlas Intel results for Black respondents are true. And I would hesitate to put much weight into this survey showing a post-election shift toward Trump among Black Americans. Okay. And so the jury is still out on whether Black voters will continue to shift away from the Democrats in the future elections. Yeah, I don't believe it either. I'm not buying it. Okay, this all sounds like a publicity stunt. This all sounds like Trump trying to paint a narrative so that it looks as if, now this is just my opinion, but it seems like Trump and his team are trying to paint a narrative so that it looks as if Black people aren't bothered by the fact that he's taken away DEI. Or not bothered by the fact that he wants to grant police, immunity from being sued and all of that. Okay. So anyway, Jane says Black people ain't going to say much because it don't serve us, but we are ecstatic at these deportations. Okay, are we? Are we ecstatic? Are we in fact ecstatic? Colombia backs down on accepting deportees on military planes after Trump's terror threats. So let's get into it. And I'm going to share this news report. And here's the thing, because it was reported that, Trump's administration tried to ship a bunch of people to Colombia, and Colombia refused to take them. They wouldn't let the plane land. Okay? It said they would not let the plane land. Okay, I'm trying to wait for this to load. Okay, here it is. I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, Fred, just moments ago, Donald Trump reacting to the news that Colombia had blocked planes carrying undocumented migrants from delivering those individuals back to their home country. And Trump now retaliating with tariffs and threats of more tariffs. He said in a post on social media, quote, "I was just informed that the two repatriation flights from the United States with a large number of illegal criminals were not allowed to land in Colombia. This order was given by Colombia's socialist president, Gustavo Petro, who is already very unpopular amongst his people. Petro's denial of these flights has jeopardized the national security and public safety of the United States." So he has then goes on to say that he is taking some action against the Colombian government, including a 25% tariff on goods coming from Colombia immediately, and he's threatening to raise that to up to 50% next week. He also is calling for a travel ban and immediate visa revocations on the Colombian government officials and sanctions on party members and family members that support the Colombian government. So, Fred, this is an early example of how Donald Trump's immigration crackdown is already colliding with his foreign policy and trade proposals, and the first of maybe more to come, Fred.
And then, Steve, how immediate are we talking?
Well, he says in the post that these the 25% tariffs are, quote, an emergency and will go into place immediately. And then in 1 week, the 25% tariff will be raised to 50%, which would be quite a steep climb. Of course, Trump has already proposed sweeping tariffs on many of the U.S.'s trade partners, including a 25% trade tariff on Mexico and Canada that he says might go into effect next month. He is also promising a trade tariff on goods coming from China in recent weeks if they don't negotiate a new deal deal with the United States. So clearly this has been top of mind for Donald Trump for more than a year. He has said he will use tariffs to get the international players to act in the best interests of the United States and to raise revenue for the country. And we are starting to see him use them as
He was having some sort of technical difficulties. But they said that basically the people are saying in Colombia that Trump's trying to use this to get other countries to do the U.S.'s bidding. So I don't know. It all sounds sketchy to me. Now, it says, after forcing Colombia to back down, White House claims America is respected again. This is what they're reporting now. So apparently, they say Donald Trump claimed an early victory for a coercive foreign policy based on tariffs and hard power on Sunday after announcing Colombia had backed down in the dispute over migrant repatriation rights or flights, saying the president had earlier unveiled swift and painful punishment, including huge tariffs on the U.S. ally in his most overt attempt to yet make an example of a nation that crossed him and to assert dominance in the Western Hemisphere. Now, the crisis erupted when Colombian President Gustavo Petro blocked U.S. military flights carrying undocumented migrants from landing, in a hitch from the mass deportation operation meant to honor one of Trump's most high-profile campaign promises. Now, one of the reports said that they claimed they didn't want to allow the plane to fly because they said they would come here and get their people themselves. They didn't want them to be brought back over there in shackles and handcuffs and things of that nature. And so basically, y'all heard Trump say they wouldn't take back their criminals. Now, Trump, are all of those people that you were sending back criminals, or is he just calling them that? Anyway, the U.S. president jumped at a chance to show his supporters how tough he can be and to demonstrate to other countries in Latin America the price for resisting migrant repatriations. Now, after hours of tension with Bogota, the White House said Colombia had agreed to accept migrant flights, including on military aircraft, and that tariffs would be held off pending its implementation of the deal. They say today's events make clear to the world that America is respected again. Excuse me. This is what White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said in a statement late Sunday. President Trump will continue to fiercely protect our nation's sovereignty, and he expects all other nations of the world to fully cooperate in accepting the deportation of their citizens illegally present in the United States. Colombia's foreign minister soon confirmed that U.S. deportation flights had resumed. Petro's reversal represents a secession to U.S. power and to Trump's aggressive personal style. Now, it is also likely to embolden administration officials who see tariff threats not simply as a traditional device in trade disputes, but as a tool to intimidate other nations, including longtime U.S. allies across a broader set of issues. Now, still, the spat with Colombia was also a reminder of how Trump's hardline approach will cause massive global disruption. The U.S. president has already browbeaten Canada and Mexico over border issues, sought to force Denmark to sell Greenland, and threatened to take back the Panama Canal. 4 years of such tactics could harm U.S. global relationships and harden attitudes to Americans among foreign populations. The Colombia dispute quickly got the attention of China, which is seeking to increase its influence in Washington's own backyard, underscoring the potential downside for the United States if Trump chooses incessant confrontation that alienates key regional nations. Okay, now this could all backfire. Please pay attention. Now, Trump's victory over Colombia capped the first week of his presidency, during which he used intimidation as a device to stamp his power on the United States at home and to sharply change the nation's path abroad. Now, on Sunday, for instance, Trump's new administration launched a deportation blitz in Chicago that will send countrywide that was spread countrywide in the latest highly visible sign of his desire to quickly get results. White House border czar Tom Homan told CNN's Priscilla Alvarez Sunday that the new multi-agency approach on immigration enforcement was a game changer, saying today's operation was all of government. President Trump has put all of government on this issue. Nearly 1,000 people were arrested in a sweep on Sunday, according to the Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This followed another stunning example of the new president wielding aggressive executive authority after he fired more than a dozen watchdog officials in key government agencies on Friday night. Now, the purge is part of Trump's attempts to remake the federal government in line with a long-held conservative belief that the federal bureaucracy always frustrates Republican presidents as they try to implement electoral mandates. But since the agency inspectors general report waste, fraud, and abuse to Congress, the move is being criticized by Democrats as an abuse of power and a sign of Trump's cavalier regard for government ethics. And even some top Republicans complained that the president should have complied with the law by giving Congress 30 days notice of the dismissals. Okay, so Lindsey Graham says, I think he should have done that. Okay, I think he should have done that. That's what he said at the State of the Union on Sunday. Now, but the South Carolina Republicans said or asked, is it okay for him to put people in place that he thinks can carry out his agenda? Yes, he won the election. What do you expect him to do? Just leave everybody in place in Washington before he got elected? Now, he feels like the government hasn't worked very well for the American people. Now, this is all what Lindsey Graham says. So Trump has hinted that he could be a transformational leader, showing energy and focus and acting quickly to implement his campaign promises, especially on immigration. Now, his agent of disruption in the Pentagon, Pete Hegseth, was sworn in as defense secretary Saturday after Vice President J.D. Vance cast for the deciding Senate vote on his controversial confirmation. But Trump has also taken steps that could alienate many of the swing voters who sent him back to power. His blanket pardons of January 6, 2021 rioters, including those convicted of violent offenses, shocked many Republicans. And his decision to strip security details from former aides who criticized him, including several who have been threatened by Iran, revealed an obsession with past grievances that sometimes distracts from his own political goals. Well, we already know Trump's petty as hell, that he holds a grudge, and we already knew that he was going to try to get some payback because that's how he is. He's a whole narcissist. And this is what narcissists do. Now, Trump said last week that the voters were more concerned with immigration than with high grocery prices. I'm sorry, who's more concerned with immigration than high grocery prices? One's in the chat. One's in the chat. Are you more concerned about immigration than high grocery prices? One's if you are, because I'm more concerned about high grocery prices, okay? I'm more concerned about the high grocery prices. The immigrants have been here for decades, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, they're not taking anything away from me at the end of the day. Okay, so most people are putting twos. Exactly. All right, Ms. Shu said, no, groceries are more important. Exactly, honey. I beg to differ with them on that point. Okay, this is just Trump saying whatever he wants to say because he knows darn well we don't care more about immigration than we do groceries, okay? Now, that being said, they say, but Republican hopes of clinging to their narrow House majority in next year's midterm elections may rest on him making tangible economic progress. Now, this makes the president's meeting with Republican lawmakers on Monday at his Doral Golf Resort in South Florida especially important as the program through Congress. So anyway, honey, it goes on and on and on. But at the end of the day, I don't believe half of the stuff that they're saying. This whole thing about more black people just being all for Trump than even white people, and then them saying that we care more about my immigration than groceries. Yeah, the price of groceries. It all sounds crazy, okay? That all sounds absolutely crazy at the end of the day. And let's not forget that Trump also wants to reshape the military, and this tariff thing is going to be an issue. Now, I'm going to go to this report because I already told you all that tariffs was going to be an issue about a month or so ago. Because all these countries are going to do is start charging more for the consumers when they have to ship things to us.
It's a pretty low bar. It's not a rush to judgment as much as a gag reflex.
It's the ultimate agenda reveal party.
I want to see it.
We have been so concerned about all the scary things that Trump's going to do. We forgot he's also going to do some really stupid things.
What I love most about this job is the ability to educate.
Comedy Central's The Daily Show. New episodes now streaming on Paramount Plus.
So it appears a feared trade war between the U.S. and Colombia has been averted for now. The White House says it's holding off from imposing a series of tariffs and other measures against Colombia after the country agreed late last night to once again accept U.S. flights carrying deported migrants. Earlier Sunday, President Trump threatened to impose 25% tariffs on goods from the country after it refused to accept those flights. Meantime, federal agencies dramatically ramped up immigration operations this weekend, with nearly 1,000 arrests nationwide on Sunday. On Face the Nation, Vice President Vance defended the Trump administration policies, allowing ICE agents to raid houses of worship and schools.
I support us doing law enforcement against violent criminals, whether they're illegal immigrants or anybody else, in a way that keeps us safe.
And Trump fired more than a dozen inspectors general late Friday night, including some he appointed during his first term. Inspectors general are independent employees who are tasked with identifying fraud, waste, and abuse in the federal government. And take a look at this. Saturday, the president made a surprise appearance at a Las Vegas casino. This after a scheduled address where he promoted his plan to end taxes on tips.
So if you're a restaurant worker, a server, a valet, a bellhop, a bartender, or one of my caddies, I go through caddies like candy. If I play badly, I always blame my caddy. Or any other worker who relies on tipped income, your tips will be 100% yours.
This morning, we have team coverage on all of this for you with Aaron Navarro and Natalie Brand following the Trump administration for us. Aaron, let's begin with you, our CBS News reporter in our D.C. bureau. And let's start with Colombia. Flights like this happen all the time. So why did the nation refuse to accept them? And how did Trump respond?
Ariel, good to be with you. What we saw was Colombia President Gustavo Petro criticized that the migrants were coming in via military planes. He criticized the conditions and said that those migrants were not being treated with dignity and respect. And he said he was open to those on non-military flights, said he would offer his presidential plane. But as we saw last night, he eventually agreed and said that he would, quote, guarantee dignified conditions for those on board. Now, military planes being used to transport these migrants is relatively new, in part because Trump's administration is increasing the role of the Defense Department when it comes to immigration and his plans for mass deportation.
Now, we also saw over the weekend a major crackdown by immigration authorities. Where specifically did we see that, and what happened?
Yeah, just yesterday, we saw about 1,000 arrests by ICE. And just for context, in 2024, under the last year of the Biden administration, there was a daily average of about 312 arrests. So definitely an increase there. They targeted those with warrants. We also saw the DEA, ATF, and FBI assist as the Trump administration is looking to get more to help Border Patrol and ICE agents. And we saw it happen in Chicago, Denver, Houston, Miami, and San Antonio, right in that border state of Texas.
And we've also learned, Aaron, that the Trump administration is working on an immigration deal with El Salvador. What can you tell us about that development?
Yeah, they are developing an asylum agreement with El Salvador's government that would allow the U.S. to deport migrants there that may not even be from El Salvador. It's an arrangement known as the, quote, Safe Third Country Agreement, which would empower U.S. immigration officials to deport some migrants to El Salvador, blocking them from requesting asylum in the U.S. instead.
All right, giving us all the updates on the immigration front, Aaron Navarro, thank you.
If you
Okay, so you all heard that. You all heard that. So DSB says them immigrants better hold their own marbles. I am more worried about this high food. Okay, exactly. That's what I'm more concerned about. Okay, thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. Now, someone in the chat said, I think it was Sage, somebody said that Black communities where the illegal immigrants were sent would disagree with me. Well, beloved, they just might. They just might. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. So with that all being said, I'm more concerned about high food prices than I am immigrants, because I don't really have to deal with immigrants on a regular or daily basis. Now, if you do, and if you live in a Black community where these immigrants have come and there's an uptick in crime or whatever, then of course I would understand why you feel differently. But, me, myself, personally, I don't. That's not the biggest problem for me, okay? That's all I'm saying. Doesn't mean that someone else may not feel differently. Okay, so anyway, that's the news for now. I'm about to conclude this broadcast. But let me say, for those of you, Lillian X said she's concerned with both. Yes. I am concerned with both, but if I had to choose which, I would definitely choose the issue with the high food prices, because everyone has to eat to live, okay? And everyone is not in a predicament to which they can afford the continuous rise in grocery prices. Now, fortunately, I can afford groceries, but there's some people who can't, okay? With that all being said, so I find that to be the issue of concern more so than the immigration. Now, with that all being said, for those of you who follow the spiritual channel, Queen Amadai TV, More Than Meets the Third Eye, I'm going live on there at 1:30, and you don't want to miss it, because we're going to be talking about some of these ghostly encounters and people talking about these things that they've seen called mimics, okay? And I find it all interesting. So we're going to be talking about that. All right. So everyone, please like, share, subscribe, double check and make sure that you're still subscribed to the channel, especially if you have not been receiving your notifications. Okay. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. There is the link in the chat again for the next live on the spiritual channel. With that being said, everyone enjoy the rest of this day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I